been quite the week for us. We had some animal loss, which we'll get into some detail about later, but we suspect the animals may have eaten something that they shouldn't have. So we're gonna go explore the back forest area and see if we can't find anything that shouldn't be there.
We just got done walking the back of our property. As Lucas was saying earlier, we unfortunately lost a goat, but it all didn't start there. Last week we walked into the barn and found our Great Pyrenees Kaya unconscious and unresponsive, and we thought she was gone, but Lucas saw her breathe. And so we were like, oh, she's still alive. So we carried her inside.
Yeah, all 90 plus pounds of her, and because she couldn't walk, seemed like she would have had a stroke maybe, because the whole half of her body was just clearly like numb, droopy lip, droopy eye. She couldn't stand and would just lay there. Yeah,
we couldn't get any movement or any action, so we thought it was time to put her down, but we had no idea why. We had no idea what was going on. I even called and texted all of our neighbors and let them know what was going on, and that I was going to call a vet and put her down, because she is kind of like some glue between a lot of people up here, and she's a protector of a lot of animals up here on our farm and other people's farms and properties. And so everybody would have been devastated if we had to put her down, and so it was kind of like this collective effort that we needed to talk to everybody about it. So we had some neighbors that told us, you know, I think you really need to take her to the emergency vet clinic. Me being an ex-veterinarian technician, I take a slow time to jump to taking care of animals. In the fact of taking them and spending money at a vet, I take very good care of my animals, and I do the meds and do what I need to do here on the farm. But when it comes to either putting an animal down or spending thousands of dollars, we really have to weigh that outcome for us. And we just thought that Kaya was definitely worth it, and we needed to know what is going on before we put her down. So knowing that if we put her down, we would bring her back to the farm, we decided to take her into the vet emergency clinic.
So we went down into town, about 40-minute drive with her in the car, and she doesn't like car rides to start with. But she was so lethargic, I don't think she really noticed. And then we spent a few hours sitting in the parking lot, due to COVID and the other restrictions that come with it. We were required to sit in the car while they took the dog inside and checked her out. And we even had the discussion about if we did put her down at the vet, that they still won't allow you in to be with the animal because of COVID restrictions. So that was another big part of just the stresses that added on to that evening. So after spending a few hours there, they did some x-rays on her because she kind of had a very tight stomach, didn't seem normal, and then did some blood tests, and it came back and said, yeah, it all looks good, looks fine. So their best guess is that she digested some sort of poison type material, and their best guess was either bad mushrooms or some THC.
Yeah.
So we kind of laughed out loud and said, okay, well, I guess she's had a really bad trip. We didn't know what was going on with her, but
Right.
We brought her home that night, and she continued to be very just lethargic, and then over the next 2 days we kept her in the house with us. She's normally 100% outside dog, and so we got all of her lovely white fur all over the place, but she is back to her normal self now.
Mm-hmm. COVID wedding for a really cute little older couple. So right now we're heading down to go help set up the church a little bit. It's a little tiny little white church. I'll show you guys how cute it is once we get there. But we're rushing a little bit because we cleaned a little bit, we filmed a little bit this morning. I jumped in the shower, which should have only taken like 5 minutes, so I should have jumped in the shower, but it took 20, so now we're really late, so we're rushing down, but driving safe. So yeah, I'll show you guys a little cute little church. Like little spotlight on us. Gotta get in the light more. It's like, ah. Okay, so today we went to the Apple store, and because I need a new laptop. So we went there to check out a laptop. You have to have an appointment, but the only problem is we live like 45 minutes to an hour from the nearest Apple store. Yeah. So, and I just want to touch it. I'm going to buy it online or whatnot, but I just want to touch it and see the screen and do all that.
See what size we want.
Yeah.
I mean, a 10-minute adventure max.
And they wouldn't let us in. They were very helpful, and they talked to me, and they communicated, and they worked through things. But I had to have an appointment, and the nearest, or the closest time was like in 3-4 days. So that wasn't going to work for us. So we went to Target to see if we could touch one. They didn't have one. So then we went to Costco. Out of all the places, yeah. Costco had one. Yep. Had one that we could touch and see the screen size and everything. So we at least got what we needed today. But something really cool did happen. We were like, okay, well, let's go eat. I wanted to play games, go to a brewery. But of course, since Oregon shut down, we can't do that.
Right. So we did what we normally do in those situations, which is pull up Yelp and start trying to find something that looks good we haven't been to before. But since we live so far out of town, we were trying to do it, on the way home. And we found a little sandwich shop that we hadn't seen before. And so we put in a little pickup order, called it in on the drive, pulled up, and it's a sandwich shop and a wine shop all together. It's called Wayward. And so we got a mix of things: chicken sandwich, hamburger. I mean, there's just a variety of things to try out. And what was really awesome was when we got in there, the owner and the chef were off to the side in the wine bar area enjoying themselves a little quick glass of wine.
Sorry, I'm looking for his business card right now because I have it.
But super friendly, very nice. They had a full staff in the kitchen working hard. So it was good to see someone open during this freeze we're having in the Oregon area, and who was enthusiastic and
So the restaurant was called Wayward Hospitality LLC, but it was Wayward Sandwiches. And I'll show you guys the food and everything from there. But the owner was there, the chef was there, like Lucas said, sitting out front while we grabbed our food before we took off. We got to chatting with him. But you guys, they have a full staff still right now serving. And they're trying to make it through this time, which is so cool. And it just blesses like our hearts just to see an owner really trying to do that.
Absolutely. Because
we were out last weekend trying to get everything done for, and any chance that we could bless the waitress because we knew things were shutting down. We tried and we did that. But to see an owner that is rising above and beyond and saying, you know what, I'm really going to keep my staff on, that's pretty awesome. Yeah. So if you're able to go to Canby, check out Wayward Sandwiches. Phenomenal. Support them. They have wine, they have beer to go. Their food looks amazing. We'll show you guys. Really excited. So we're about to eat.
Yeah.
Little kids burger.
Look at that bun.
Does it have bacon?
Nice. Not it.
Wow.
So warm.
Yes, we did not want to wait, so we are sitting outside of a park eating this delicious stuff. And you guys, the chef is from Portland and he's making phenomenal stuff here in a little town called Canby. We wanted to do a closeout of the video. Unfortunately, we didn't get to finish it that day. Just a lot was going on, but we wanted to close it out. As you can tell, we are in different clothes, so we had to do it on a different day, obviously.
Okay. And so really we just want to share our rose and thorn like we try to do at the end of each video. And you know, our rose, end on the rose? Let's end on a rose. Thorn for that past week with the animals was we did lose one animal, our goat Larry. The day after our dog Kaya went through her thing, we found Larry dead, so we had to kind of manage and deal with that. But I think our rose, though...
Well, I have one more other thorn. Another thorn would be probably the fact that when we walked the property, we didn't see anything. No mushrooms that look like they were poisonous. So it could have come from somewhere else, and we just don't know exactly where it came from. If she got THC or anything like that. So that uneasiness is not okay. It's a little unnerving.
Yeah. So they're not knowing what caused the goat to die or what caused the dog to have her kind of issues. Is you know, frustrating, but we're trying to be hopeful. You know, we're letting the animals back out in the field, in the pasture, and in the back, just hoping everything's fine. So that's the thorn for sure. But I think for our rose, over this past week, I guess our rose, I kind of have a twofold rose. One being that our dog Kaya is fine. Everything's back to normal for her. It's all good. We are keeping her in the house right now. She lost a lot of fur during that ordeal. She kind of shedded her undercoat, so it's colder out, so we've been having her inside more. And then the other rose is, you know, we have a great group of friends up here on the hill who all were supporting us when we were managing with the animals and that sort of thing. So just kind of a twofold rose for us.
Yeah, we wouldn't have had her if we didn't have the community, to be honest, because we legitly thought it was time to put her down and call a vet and put her down at the house, not knowing what was going on with her. and just to know that she was just a little high.
Yeah.
You know, eventually we'll probably laugh a little bit later on. I mean, we still laugh a little bit now, but the fact that we still have her and we had great support that said, let's find out what's going on. So
Yeah.
if you guys are watching, thank you so much, our community up here by the house. We're so grateful for you
Absolutely.
guys.
Thank you. And we're thankful for all of you guys watching out there. We ask that you please like the video and subscribe, hit the button for us. We'd appreciate it.
Yeah, and the bell, because you won't know that a new video came out.
Yeah, gotta hit the bell.
Hit the bell. So like us and subscribe. Thank you for supporting us in these early stages. We're really excited.
And we'll hopefully see you next week.